morning all, hope you're doing well. You had a nice weekend and we're back to Monday. We've got a very busy calendar Wednesday onwards, so just be careful from Wednesday, Thursday. We've got CPI, we've got the ECB and we've got the PPI. So it's very, very busy 48 hours this week. So I'd imagine that the herd are going to be selling as we go into that risk event, which would be normal because it could be potentially quite scary. So we saw a little change on the 24-hour difference. Not really noticeable. It's just telling us that the sentiment went slightly sideways over the last 24 hours. The technical scores are above 50, so for me that would be risk on because we're above 50%. You know, we're looking at pivot. You know, 50% is like a natural pivot. So below 50% fairly, it could be a little bit like risk off it slightly, but we're above 50, so for me that's risk on, especially if we're green up here. So for every one person buying, there's 8 people selling indices, and so there's a lot of bears basically, and because there's so many bears we should be coming up higher. So as long as this remains green, you're looking to buy on the technicals, so you're waiting for that to get nice and low. I think we got to 15 or 20 last week, and so obviously as long as this remains green then you're looking to buy, and that's how it works. If this goes red then you'll probably be looking to sell, because you know you don't want to be doing the same as the majority, as the dumb majority, and they are selling. As you can see, we've got a negative number. So QDB scores, we saw a big move on the dollar yen, and we had the heads up first thing because we've got an Asian correspondent who lives in Japan, and he gives us updates in real time in Discord, so it's worth joining Discord for that. And we've got some rhetoric from the Bank of Japan, and it's really moved the yen, so keep an eye on your news for that. And we can see AN is the strongest and pound Aussie is the weakest, so that's how we stand now. And we've got greens up here and we've got reds down here, which would be fine, that'd be perfect. So that's just proving that the scores are working, okay? And the bit in the middle, be careful of, because it could go either way. And so let's talk about the indices and gold. So we can draw a box on gold. Now this is the third time I've had to take a video because it just lagged out on me so much, so I couldn't draw a box. But what I've done is I've closed some things down so I can. I think I just can't have too many trading terminals running, which is fine. So that's the robot terminal, and this is obviously the FXCM terminal. But if I have any more than one MetaTrader 4, it doesn't like it. So therefore, you know, we come up higher. They sold it, so we should come up higher, and they'd sold it, so we had some nice support there. Okay, maybe like a fake break there potentially. So that's gold. DAX will go down top to bottom. Yeah, just a shame I can't have more than one MetaTrader 4. I guess I have to upgrade my VPS perhaps. But we had a channel break, and you know, we came back in that channel. You can see the lows. We didn't quite break that low, and we've really pumped since. And what's happened is that they've gone long here, and it just really reversed really hard on them. Then it fell, zigzag here, and then they'd sold, and that's very, very nasty. And all that big horrible liquidation event that we had last week, at the end of last week. So got to be careful, keep an eye on your sentiment, wait for the crossover, and then you're looking to place your stop below the prior low. I mean, it could have been there theoretically, but then your risk to reward is going to be quite poor. If you've got a tighter stop, it's going to be a better risk to reward. So very nasty, so be careful there. But currently, you know, they are selling it, so it should be coming up higher. Let's look at come on, I don't want to do this video again. 3 times is enough already. And yes, S&P. Oh, they're going slightly long, so that's of note. We don't really want them to be buying. Well, I don't, because I've got like a bullish bias on this, so I don't want them to be buying. So it might be a time to just scale out potentially. You don't want them to be going long if you're long, because then it will cause price to fall, because there has to be someone to sell it. If they're buying it, there has to be someone to sell it. So we might have a wick above here potentially, but we are quite sideways. We can draw a box if it will let me. Where are we going to draw the box? Here, isn't it? So we had a retest. We always get the retests on these boxes. Sold it, retest, bounce. So that's that. That's S&P and US 30. And then we'll just quickly look at the robot very quickly, and we'll wrap up the video. And that's it. And I'll report back later tonight about the robot as well. So here's US 30. We've got a box here, right? So it's quite simple. I mean, it should be quite obvious why it's coming up higher. And the thing is, a lot of people are ignorant of the sentiment, so they don't understand what's going on. But with this setup, you understand why, because there has to be someone to take the other side of that trade. If they're selling it, there has to be someone to buy it, right? And if they're buying it, someone has to sell it. Okay, so it's real simple. Let's quickly look at your robot. And so we're basically looking at EU longs, and we had one sell as well. So we'll just have to wait and see. And we're only using the micro lots as well. And like I say, we just have to give it like a week, and then hopefully we have a good week, and then we can add some sentiment as a layer on top. So I'm going to wrap up the video now. I don't want to make it a long one, and I wish you a good day. Let me know if you've got any questions as well. I won't mind at all, and I'll speak to you guys soon.